Thank you a lot. Okay, I brought tons of slides because I love particularly X25, and I will try to explain you in the next hour what X25 is and why we should still in this year, in 2005, talk about a network that basically has been built in the 70s, so it should be old, it should be died. There should be only internet issues, internet security issues, but I will show you that this is not true. So, as my title say, I will talk also you about real life and field experience. I mean, at the end of the presentation, I will show you true things and not only the theory of the X25 stuff. I got a big disclaimer because I learned from my friend Emmanuel Gadais from TSDF that these disclaimers are so important as well. Also, Jim knows that disclaimers are important, don't you? So, to be clear, in this speech I will not cover the technical theories of the X25. I will give you a quick overview, but this is the business tracks, so we are not going into the technical details, and this is intentional. We do absolutely recommend you to not use this material for hacking into government stuff or other targets. Why I'm telling you this? Because nowadays, as I will explain to you, on X25 you will only find high-level targets. I mean, you will not find your local ISP or Pizza Hut shop. Maybe you would be able to find a Pizza Hut headquarters as well. So we can for sure be responsible if you decide to get into these exciting words, and you will get busted. I hope not for you. I want also to point out that anything that is contained in this presentation does not infringe or should not, as far as I know, any legislations or law. And I would also like to point you out that you will see many X25 addresses. To be clear, an X25 address is the same thing of an IP address as a concept, and all of them may be sometimes real or sometimes obfuscated or fake. It depends, and I will tell you in details in each case. What else? Well, all the trademarks are registered to the owners, so the Cisco guys, they want to see on me. Agenda. Short intro about TSF and myself, and then the nightmare is going to start. Short overview about X25, as I was telling you how it works, understanding what does it mean an NUA and a DNIC. History is so important to understand X25. Why? Because we are talking about technology that, as I told you, started back in the 60s and the 70s. So this means that we have at least 20-25 years of history that teach us the wrong and the cool things. Then I decided to bring exclusively for Hack in the Box some really cool evidences. All the evidence that I will show to you does not came from hacking, but they came from professional pen testing, except for a couple, and I will underline that are from hacking intrusions. Then we share the difference between X25 and the internet. They're really a lot, and I will explain to you. And even the attackers typologies are completely different from the internet ones. Conclusions, questions, answer, and the nightmare will be over. Let us start the nightmare. TSTF, who are we? Telecom Security Task Force. We are funded by professionals and specialists. We are not a company. We are not the common staff. We are just a bunch of friends all around the world that loves telecommunication security. We are located in Asia, Europe, and USA as well. And one time, me and Emmanuel and Philippe Gadouin, we tried to put together all of our know-how, and we discovered that we got 30 years in TLC experiences and 50 altogether in the security field, and that's a lot. We love to say that we got a unique view on telco security. Why? Because we grew up with the telcos. We built the telcos, we test the telco, we consult to the telco. So I do really think that a few guys, or maybe nobody, is able to do that in this way. What else can I point you out from here? Talking about X25, we specifically know slang terms, the device and all the techniques. And the final thing about TSDF, we are self-funded, we don't run business accounts around and no venture capitals at all, thanks God. About me, As Amy introduced me, I had my hacking experience from 1986 when I was 13 years old, and now I'm 32 right now, up to 1995. I stopped in 95 not because I specifically enjoyed that year, but because on that year, Criminalpol, that is Italian Computer Police, and Interpol, that as you may know is the international regulation that makes the police from more countries talk each other, and the FBI, they decided that I was doing too much maybe, so they decided to stop me, and it was the 13th of December of 95, the worst day of all my life. And the operation was called Ice Trap because we've been able, among the other things, to get into some don't love place, some ice cream company, and so the police has been so smart to call the operation Ice Trap. So from where I became an ethical hacker, I grew up, as Anthony also he said when he was talking about his past. You can't play for all of your life. When you are a teenager is okay, you do the wrong things and you understand and you pay and then you grow up. Actually, I'm a professional penetration tester since '96, so it's just nine years that I do pen testing, and I've seen, as many of you, many things. Also a key contributor to the OSDEM. I don't know if you know the OSDEM, but I would like to point you out. OSDEM is an open source project by isecom.org, and is a security testing methodology. So in my personal opinion, the OSDEM has been able to bring the professionalism that was missing into the security testing and pen testing field. I'm also board of directors member in some stuff. So for example, of course in TSDF, in NISECOM, as I mentioned to you, CLUSIT is the Italian Computer Security Association, and we are doing a lot of awareness. And OWASP as well, I'm into the Italian chapter. So, X25 is used in packet switch network, as you may read, and it has been designed in '64, so we are talking about that technology of the half of the 60 by Paul Barron, again, always him, and the RAND Corporation. To do what? To be able to let the private companies and government companies to talk each other over data networks. You may answer to me, and the internet at that time was under design, was under development, but most of all the internet was only, as you may well know, for some specific United States of America institutions after they came for the university, but we had to wait until the 90s to add the internet for commercial use. So from the 70s to the 2000 year or to the 90s, how could a private company connect worldwide? Just using X25. So the idea was to connect a stupid terminal, like a VDT100, let me say, to a worldwide packet switch data network. The last thing is X25 has been created by E2, International Communication Union. They are based in Geneva, in Switzerland. And before E2, the old name of E2 was CCITT. Is in French. I don't remember the full acronym, but it should be something like Commission Créative Internationale de Téléphone et de Télégraphe, or something like that. Why are we talking today in 2005 about X25 security if the technology is so old? All of this speech is, it came from personal know-how, or even other, or companies, international research or whatever, when we do, as I told you, professional pen testing over IP, X25, DevNet, and other networks. When we were doing this kind of job in the 90s, we discovered that there are still a huge number of security holes in the infrastructure we were trying to test. To give you some ideas, the 90% of them, when they had an X25 link, was fully unsecured and unprotected. So it's like, I will explain you later, but the analogy could be that in a company you got the internet backbone, and you got IDS, you got the firewalls, you got everything, and they invest tons of money, but they forgot about the old things that are still there in a corner. So we kept on to pen testing as TSDF and as my company as well, and we kept on to find open doors forgotten by somebody. The bad thing is that when you have a forgotten door on X25, it is usually a big breach that brings you straight to the core of the company. So you don't care about the firewalls again, you don't care about the IDS because you are on the way back, in the back garden. Also today, they still keep on to launch new services and new connection of X25, even if you can't even think about it. So now we are in 2005 and there are still new breaches upcoming. So what is X25? As I told you, is an international packet switch data network, and to give you an analogy again, the model is very similar to the PSTN, to the public switch telephone network. Talking a bit on the tech point of view, we got three main kind of type of packet: the data packet, the control, and the facilities. I will have a specific slide about the facilities packet type because it's one of the field where you can play more as an X25 attacker. There are many acronyms that stands for international standard defined by E2. So we got X25, but we got as well X29, that is just the client side capability of making an X25 call. We have X28 that, as I will explain you after, is the how to connect via a dial-up over a PSTN or an ISDN line to the X25 worldwide network. X75 and X121, there are the protocol specific for international X25 links. So X25 has been, as far as I know, the first global commercial data network, because, as I was telling you, the internet was only available for other kind of things. Even today, let's say in the 90s, the company, they started to move to the internet, but they didn't close their X25 access and contracts with the telcos. Why? We have many regions. First, because maybe they forgot. Second, because the sysadmin they have changed, and the young ones, they don't know about these kind of things. Third, because there are a lot of services that can't be moved from X25 to IP in this way. I would mention to you ATM stuff, CDR stuff, SMS, and other things that I will show you. Also, we are talking about the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s, so we have the monopoly in many countries around, and this means that the X25 networks of each country were mainly owned by the national telecom operator at the time. Actually, the key clients are multinationals for sure, governments, and small companies, let's say small and medium enterprises. I go to a shop, buy with my ITM or my Visa card something, and the boss will do a PSTN, for example, call to the HQ of a Visa corporation or whatever to check if my card is okay, and then they will stop the call. PVC, let's say that there is an HQ and two branches of the company, and they are always connected each other, they never disconnect the line. On X25, the billing is only regarding the traffic. X25 billing doesn't care about the time. And this is very useful for hackers, of course, because they don't have to get scared that there will be too much on a client because they hang on the system for 3 hours or 3 days. Also, on X25, it's not sure that X25 is the main protocol at the end. You can run on X25 many stuff. The more typical are, of course, host-to-host, SNA for the banks as well, or proprietary stuff. But I've seen also, it happened also to me to pen test X25 system where the ancient of voice over IP, the or to have a Kermit file transfer or whatever. All the major OS, we can tell about Sun Solaris, HP UX, Bullpads and whatever, or Linux VMS, SA400, all the old stuff, or the unknown system that is so common to find on the X25, they have their internal pad. The pad is the packet assembling